was a California August in '82 when my mother gave birth to the Spam Tech crew. 13 years later had me looking at Linux. Programming made me stronger like Papa the Spinach. Now, people know that a DG carry weapons, but if that weapon is a nest you step in, we finish Contra with only one life. Finish Metal Gear 2 using only a knife, right? People might think that we're frontin', then they see all the noobs online that I'm putting. My rhymes flow just like my code, even though my source is owned by SCO. What about my Indian? I keep it low. See me on Gunbound, call me pro. I'm a certified legend, but I'm still your bro. This is a PSA, boy, the more you know. No. I'm a legend everywhere that I go, every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Waddy Crackers jams, and they can't get enough of Waddy Crackers spam. I'm a legend everywhere that I go, every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Waddy Crackers jams, and they can't get enough of Waddy Crackers spam. I said my heart's wide open, goatsy, and my windows min like Ho Chi. I'm just another nerd, but I rap about it. Shit talk on the net, then I laugh about it. I've been caught slipping like the Star Wars kid when I'm on eBay sniping a bid. Catch me on a webcam like Numa Numa. See me at the club and I'm rocking Puma. Another net legend if you see me yodel. Spit a little something that's anecdotal. Tell me about the time the E-Bombs world stole your chop like I stole your girl. Catch me on Gen May, not something awful. Low tax would ban me, raffle. I'm a certified legend, but I'm still your bro. This is a PSA, boy, the more you know. I'm a legend everywhere that I go, every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Waddy Crackers jams, and they can't get enough of Waddy Crackers spam. I'm a legend everywhere that I go, every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Waddy Crackers jams, and they can't get enough of Waddy Crackers spams. I'm a legend everywhere that I go, every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Waddy Crackers jams, and they can't get enough of Waddy Crackers spam. I'm a legend everywhere that I go, every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Waddy Crackers jams, and they can't get enough of Waddy Crackers spams, yeah.
What's up, meatbags? It's the often imitated, never duplicated Tony TGD. And as you can see, I am flying solo tonight. I have laid off the entire team. Unfortunately, they did not meet the standards set by the Tony TGD network. So I had to let them go. I had to cut them loose. Wish them good luck on their future endeavors. No hard feelings. But I am solo tonight. And tonight we're going to be going over quite a lot. And we're going to be talking about a Breath of the Wild YouTuber that was demonetized by Nintendo. Nintendo, striking their videos over a multiplayer mod. We're going to talk about the Agony spinoff Succubus VR being banned off of Steam due to very, very extremely spicy content. We're going to talk about Street Fighter. It's got film and TV rights secured by Legendary. New movie in the works. That's going to be interesting. Of course, we got to talk about all the big Star Wars news coming out of Star Wars Celebration. DK Oldies apparently facing a class action lawsuit. Maybe, not quite, but we'll get to that. Of course, we're going to talk about the Intellivision Amico, because why wouldn't we? And a new train of thought that maybe there was some insider trading going on. I know those are big words, those are big allegations, but we'll get to it. But first, What's up to everybody? Usually, this is the part of the show where I ask my co-host how their week has been, but obviously, their weeks have been shit because they have been let go, fired, released from the company, no longer with the company. One of them is in the chat right now. He's a little angry, but that's what happens. That's what happens. You go against the frog, you end up off the log, as it were. But my week has been fantastically shitty. All kind of technical difficulties. We had the weather going crazy here. This has led to the internet acting up. I wasn't able to get on Thursday or Friday as I had planned to do. So we missed 2 live streams, which I always hate to do. I always hate to miss shows. And then today I was working on some Amico Forever content. That's right. We did the big Amico Forever episode 76. It was a huge hit. Everybody loved it. And it inspired me. I was actually feeling really good. I came up with some new ideas, new plans, new things, new skits. And I started working on them today. I was putting them together. And an idea came to me. So I went to a big YouTube channel that was live streaming at the time. I said, I'm going to super chat some big YouTube channels. And I'm gonna have them talk about Tommy Tallarico, the Intellivision Amico, and Earthworm Jim. I'm gonna put all that in the super chat. $5 super chats. Send them out because I wanted to clip it. I wanted to clip these words for something special. So the first, what's up, Max? The first show that I went to, the first person was Dr. Lupo. He was streaming Minecraft. I said, "Oh, let me super chat him $5. Say, hey, have you heard about Tommy Tallarico, the Intellivision Amico, and the new Earthworm Jim fiasco?" Super chatted him. Waited. Like 5 minutes goes by. He has not read the goddamn super chat. Just goes. So finally, I get into the chat and I said, hey, do you even read your super chats, bro? So that he's seen, right? That he's seen, and he caught his eye and he got mad. Oh, I was busy doing stuff. Blah blah. Playing Minecraft. Can't be reading super chats. Why the hell would I be reading super chats? Why would I care? What's up, Rabbit Dude? Why would I care about super chats? Right? He's busy. But then he gets to the super chat, and he just answers it. The prick didn't read the super chat. Instead of reading this, which is what I wanted, right? I wanted him to read the words Tommy Tallarico, Intellivision Amico, Earthworm Jim. That's what I wanted. That's what I spent the $5 for, so he could read the damn super chat. But instead of reading it, he said, "Oh, I don't know who that is. Never heard of that thing. That game sucks." $5 down the drain. Because a YouTuber couldn't do the one thing that they're supposed to do and read the goddamn super chat. You read the super chat. You don't answer it. You read it, then you answer it. So I guess I have to rework the plan. I have to redo what I was planning. I was planning to do a 2023 influencer video for Amico, including clips of really big YouTubers saying, about Amico and Tommy Tallarico and Earthworm Jim. And I'm not going to be able to do that now because now I realize after doing it once and realizing that I could spend money on these assholes to read super chats and then them not actually reading them and getting me the sound clips that I need, I have decided to go in a totally new direction. New direction for that. So, but there will be some brand new segments on Amico Forever. We're going to have more videos, more exclusive, unreleased Intellivision Amico videos, straight from the source, of course. I did reach out to Phil Adam, and he has, in fact, reached back out He said something along the lines of, "Didn't I tell you to stop emailing me?" So we'll see if we can get some more stuff. But yeah, that's how my week's been. It's just been one headache after another. Just harass them for sound clips. That's what I was trying to. I was trying to harass them in a very nice way. I was trying to harass him in a very nice way. I figured I just send a super chat. He would say the words. He would read. Every YouTuber reads the super chat as written. This guy, for whatever reason, decided not to read the super chat and just fucked up the whole plan. John Alvarado's in the chat. He says, "I'm very pleased with the direction of Amico Forever in its new home. Very pleased indeed." Thank you, John. Thank you. We try very hard. Now, Amico Forever is still going to be a very positive show, but this show here is still going to be the typical asshole show that you know and love. So when we talk about Amico here, might not be too positive. John might not like it here. No, you need to offend them and call them disgraced YouTubers. Is that what it is? Is that how you get sound clips? But I wanted very specific, very nice sound clips, Tommy. I had a plan. I had everything all set up. My mind, everything. And then I dreamed too big. Tony, would you pay Min Salad $20 to watch the H-Bomber guy or Slopes video so we can get around about Amico? Oh, God. I could. I don't know how. I don't want to torture poor Mince by having her watch a Tommy Tallarico video or a Amico video. Rabbit Dude says now he's going to sub for all of you. Nice. Damn, 11 minutes in, stream's going to end soon. Yeah, correct. I'm the only one. For those of you just joining, I fired the entire staff. They have been laid off, no longer with company. Here at Tony TGD Game Studios. We only want the highest quality of YouTuber on staff. And unfortunately, some of the performances that were happening on Wednesday were not up to snuff. They were not up to the standards that I have set for myself. So we're just not going to have them. They're just gone. All right. I guess we're going to just go ahead. We're going to get into the first topic of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Big Breath of the Wild YouTuber hit by Nintendo after multiplayer mod. Some of Eric Point Crow Marino's biggest videos were demonetized. Now, right off the bat, I understand it is Nintendo's right to demonetize, right? It is their content, even though, some people like to think that playing a game is performative. It's a weird gray area, right? Because it's not quite a movie. Like a movie is you watch it, it's passive, right? So you just put up a movie, obviously that's copyright infringement. Where a video game is interactive. So even though everything has been programmed by Nintendo, everything has been programmed to work a certain way, the way in which it happens is unique to every playthrough, right? Whether I jump or double jump or swing my sword or go left or go right, run, walk, that's all unique to my playthrough, as well as my commentary on top of that. So it kind of is still Nintendo stuff, but it is at the same time sort of transformative, right? It is really great. And I think we need a big YouTuber, hopefully this guy here, to take it all the way to as far as you can go, right? Let Nintendo shut you down. You sue them, you take them to court, you get precedent set, because that's the problem. There is no precedent set whether or not a playthrough, a let's play or a long playthrough or me modding a game and putting it on YouTube, whether or not that actually is fair use or not. Right? We only take things so far. We take things to YouTube, we get them settled, or Nintendo backs down, or the YouTuber backs down, but it never goes all the way to court. And that's the problem. 56K, what's on the agenda? We're going to talk this YouTuber getting taken down. We're going to talk about a VR game being taken off of Steam, Street Fighter, a new movie coming out. We're going to talk about the Star Wars Celebration, DK Oldie's being sued, and why Smash JT might be guilty of insider trading. All that and more here on Gabbing with Geeks. So let's get into the article. Let's see what this has to say. This is from Kotaku. Yeah, Kotaku. YouTuber and speedrunner Eric Point Crow Marino released a brand new multiplayer mod for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on April 4th. Now, see, I think that's already like 0.1 against this guy. If he made the mod, if it's his mod, and he released it, Nintendo probably pissed at him already, right? They don't like you modding their games. They don't like you releasing their content changed in any way, shape, or form. It basically transforms the hit 2017 Switch game into a modern open-world version of the beloved co-op Zelda spin-off Four Swords Adventures. A couple days later, Marino said Nintendo hit him with a copyright infringement claims that led some of his biggest YouTube videos to be demonetized. Led to some of it. God damn it. I hate fucking editors. Editors. It's not that hard. Incredibly disappointed that Nintendo America has decided to block my videos on Breath of the Wild, he tweeted on April 6th. It's the love for the community and the innovation that we bring it to it that has kept it alive and brought new people to love the Zelda series. I hope you reverse your decision soon. Marino also shared a screen cap of several of his YouTube videos, including ones featuring gameplay footage from the multiplayer mod, showing they've been flagged for copyright issues. Well, first off, I hate when these people say this shit, right? Like it's for the love of the community. Guys, I only did it for the love of the community and all them sweet YouTube ad revenue clicks, right? Look, if your videos were not monetized, and then Nintendo hit you, then you could come out and say, hey, I did this for the love of the community, right? Obviously, this is not the case. The case is you did it for the love of money, right? Just come out and admit, say, hey, I made this mod and I knew it was going to be popular and I knew people were going to want to watch it and I knew it was going to generate a bunch of revenue on my YouTube channel. And that's why I did it. No one's going to be mad. No one is going to be mad at you for admitting that. Just admit it. Just say it. Hey, this is content that was going to make me a lot of money. And now Nintendo is taking my money. Tommy says, is everyone linked? That sounds dumb. Yeah, that's how Four Swords Adventure is. Everyone's linked with a different color. All right, it says, here's the post. Incredibly disappointed, Nintendo, blah, blah, blah. We read it. We don't need to see it again. Zelda Speedrunner verse 2.2 million, 1.8 million, 1 million, and 1.5 million. All those views. And you can see these videos are 6 months ago, 8 months ago, 8 months ago, 7 months ago. So it's kind of weird that Nintendo is just now getting around to it. I wonder if the reason that Nintendo is just getting around to it is because he recently released it to the public. I mean, there's got to be a reason why. 8 months after the fact, right? This one's 6 months after the fact. There's got to be a reason why. That suddenly, Nintendo's very interested in taking these videos down. I wonder what that can be. Let's see. So he created this mod like 8 months ago. And apparently, so he paid $10,000. He paid $10,000 for someone to make him this mod. That's why. That's probably why he's pissed. And yeah, he did. So the big dummy instead of just making this mod, so he paid $10,000 to have this mod made. Then he made a whole bunch of videos on it. The videos got all kind of views, and instead of just leaving it alone, the dummy decided to release the mod. Hey guys, I'm releasing the mod that I know is against Nintendo's terms of service, that I know Nintendo's probably going to be pissed that I released. Yeah, let me release this mod to the public. Yeah. And then his videos got struck. So it is a kind of a dumb thing. Boo-boo on him. Boo-boo on him. Right? You do some stuff, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. This is why I always say, if you're going to do this stuff, if you're going to mod games, if you're going to do Nintendo IPs and do a new project, the same thing like when they do with, multiplayer Skyrim, keep that shit under wraps, release that shit quietly to the public somewhere that's not connected to you. There's no reason. Nintendo wants their cut of the internet moolah, and they ain't taking 30%. No, what they're doing is they're punishing this guy because they know other people are going to download it. They're going to make videos. This guy is essentially, they left him alone for 8 months because he was the only one with the mod, right? He had essentially had ownership. He was the only one who had it. So basically, it was contained, right? It was contained, and Nintendo just left it alone. Then he released it to the public. And that's the problem. Yeah, when you steal Tommy Tallarico voice clips for your album, keep that shit on the rap. Yeah. Or else he's going to claim ownership, and he's going to add your album to his long list of accomplishments. Tommy. Freak around and find out, as they say. Yes, they do. I know we're going to be talking about Amico later. So don't you worry, Sweet Tender. We will be talking. So that is that. Moving right along at a rapid pace. We're going to get this shit done in like an hour. It's going to be the shortest show ever. Agony spinoff Succubus VR has been banned from Steam. Now this game, man, there is weird shit in this game. Now I don't know from personal experience, just from reading the article. The flat screen version remains available, however. So Mad Mind Studio, the developer behind horny, hell-based horror games like Agony, has had one of its upcoming releases removed from Steam. The page for Succubus Hellish Orgy VR was removed, remaining visible only on SteamDB, despite the fact that the 2D version of Succubus is still up for sale on Steam. It says some features available in the VR version are too disturbing and immersive to be released on Steam. Mad Mind's press release reads, it doesn't explicitly say what features led to the banning, simply that Valve banned it for its drastic content, and Steam has decided to ban the game without giving us the ability to make changes, patches, or censorship. Now, right off the bat, this guy is full of shit. Okay, so if you know anything about Agony or the Succubus series, they've been going through this. There's always been this back and forth with Steam, right? With the content, with them releasing stuff being too out there. Steam saying, hey, you got to pull this back. The developers pulling some stuff back. See, they released Succubus, an unrated version that they had to remove stuff because it was too hardcore, right? So they already knew that some of the content that they were trying to release in the VR version was already a no-go for Steam. But they tried to sneak it back in. Thinking Steam is not going to notice. Steam noticed because Steam's paying attention. So these guys, they're playing dumb. They're playing like, oh, I don't know what happened. Well, we'll see. It says Mad Mind had previously danced around the edges of what's allowed on Steam by releasing unrated version of its games as free DLC. For instance, Succubus Unrated lists these among its adult-only editions. So what are the unrated things that they had to release free of charge on Steam to try to get around the issue? Well, let's see. Healing minigames such as abortions and various genitals mutilation. Interactive sex minigames. Additional sex scenes in the form of cutscenes. Additional sex scenes depicting demons and humans visible in games levels. No censorship on the character's breast and genitals. Additional hellish orgy scene. Mad Mind's earlier game, Agony, ran into trouble when the unrated version was instead made available as a standalone game given to owners of the original for free. Those players later found Agony Unrated had been removed from their Steam library, which Mad Mind said was because Valve had delinked the bundled together games without explanation, and could only assume was because some players who intentionally bought the game in the censored version also got access to the uncensored version, which they did not want. Agony Unrated was then made available as free DLC for the original, and everything was fine. Maybe it's the fact that Succubus VR included features from its unrated DLC in which you can rip fetuses out of pregnant women and eat them to gain hit points back that resulted in it being removed. Good job, Steam. Good job. I'm agreeing with this. This is a good move, Steam. Meanwhile, Agony VR remains on Steam, at least for now. Mad Mind says it still plans to release Succubus Hellish Orgy VR on other platforms, though it hasn't decided which that will be. I reached out to the studio for further comment. It's not going to be on PlayStation, definitely not going to be on Xbox or Nintendo. So I don't know what other platforms are going to allow this really abort Amico. Yeah. Like I said, the company already knew going into it what was not allowed, what was too far, what had pushed the envelope just a little too much. But they tried it anyway. And Steam said, again, we're another case of fuck around, find out, right? And they fucked around, and Steam let them find out. Are you acquiring into the availability of abortion-based games on Amico in addition to the requested vasectomy-based games? Because I understand there's things in the works. Don't fall for this Demon Titties. That's a Steam user review. Yeah, they're not good games. I seen the original Agony. It is a really crappy game. Really crappy. It takes over the top things like this, and instead of good gameplay, it's like, oh, look how controversial we are. Look how crazy we are. Look how disturbing things can be, and that's not necessarily a replacement for good gameplay. All right, man, that's 2 down. We're gonna fly through this half-hour show. Has there been any reactions from the old Amico Forever crew? No, not that I know of. DJC has not said anything. No reach out. No copyright strikes. I don't think Geeks with Cash has said anything. I didn't see anything on Twitter from them, Mike Mullis. So no, I haven't seen anything. I seen some flamingo poop outside my door. Possibly that could have been from the Amico Forever crew or a rogue flamingo that had got loose. I'm not sure. I'm 50-50 on that. Tommy says, oh, yeah, I passed on Agony due to shit reviews like you can't even adjust the camera sensitivity. Yeah, it's a very crappy game. That just look. Its big selling point is look how far we've pushed the envelope. So, not going to happen. Not going to happen. Sweet said, DJC pissed his pants and ran in a circle. Rab fingered himself. Geeks smeared feces into his mouth like he was eating on stream, and Mullis has not been heard from or seen in months. Oof. Damn, Sweet. Sweet's not pulling out any punches. John Alvarado says they don't need to be consulted. MIDI Amico Forever is and has always been property of Intellivision Entertainment LLC. I personally handpicked Tony's channel as a new home for the show for now. That's right, for now. It's a temporary basis. As long as we play ball with John will play ball with us, and we'll be all good. All right, moving right along. Have you guys heard about a little game called Street Fighter? It's a little game, little fighting game franchise by Capcom. You might have heard of it. It's kind of popular. One of the most famous YouTubers, DSP, he used to play Street Fighter. He was at one time the greatest North American Street Fighter 2 player. But Street Fighter film and TV rights secured by Legendary. Movie in the works. Oof. This is going to be the third movie? If we don't count any of the animated stuff, We had the Street Fighter 2 movie with Raul Julia and Jean-Claude Van Damme. Then the Legend of Chun-Li movie. So this will be the third go-round. Legendary Entertainment has secured an exclusive license to live-action film and TV rights for the iconic Capcom video game franchise Street Fighter. All projects will be co-developed and produced in conjunction with Capcom, including the feature film and development. Since the iconic franchise's launch in 1987, Street Fighter has sold more than 49 million units worldwide, becoming one of the most well-known and highest-grossing video game franchises of all time. The next chapter in the franchise, Street Fighter TM6. Wow. Again, first off, that probably should have been a little TM if you're going to put TM, and you probably didn't need the TM because it's just Street Fighter 6. But Street Fighter TM6, apparently, is slated for release June 2nd, 2023 on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox X, S, and PC via Steam. Legendary has a sequel to the $400 million grossing pandemic hit Dune in the works right now. The studio counts $19 billion worldwide from its feature library. Who cares? Capcom is a leading developer, publisher, and distributor of interactive entertainment for game consoles, PCs, handheld, and wireless devices. Who cares? Founded in blah, blah, blah. That's it. That's the whole thing. That's the whole article. Lots of blah, blah, blahs. But we're going to get a new Street Fighter film. I don't know how to feel about this. There's going to be a slew of video game adaptations after Super Mario Brothers. What up, Chronic Warlock? Yeah, I think there is, and I don't know why. This is not one, right? What could you possibly do with this? The best you can hope for is to hire a bunch of unknown but very good martial artists to just beat the shit out of each other, right? For 90 minutes. And add a little story on there, because it's really hard to have a Street Fighter story, right? Because we're gonna have to focus. You're gonna have to pick who you're gonna focus on, right? You're gonna have to pick what time frame you're gonna focus. Are we gonna start with Ken and Ryu and their journey across the world in the original Street Fighter game? Are we gonna go and do Street Fighter 2, which is the most popular one, right? The most popular, well-known version of Street Fighter or storyline. It would be the Street Fighter 2 tournament, right? Capcom just needs to watch all the Hong Kong 80s and 90s flicks and mash them up. That's what we need from fighting. You know what's actually a really good fighting movie? The Quest. If you watch The Quest, it is probably the best, not Street Fighter, but kind of Street Fighter movie of all time. Because you got Jean-Claude Van Damme's character. He's a street guy. He knows karate. He gets hooked up with Maxie Divine, who's the boxing world champion, who has been called to a international tournament of all the best fighters around. He sneaks in, pretends to be Maxie, gets into the tournament. They find out that he's not Maxie, but Maxie lets him go ahead and take his place. And then Jean-Claude Van Damme fights a bunch of people with different fighting styles. And it's a really good movie, right? There's a little plot, there's a little subplot. It's essentially a really good movie. Another good movie that does fighting good is Undisputed 3. No love story. We forgo all the background stories, right? Because all the backgrounds in part 2 and 1, essentially. So you just get, it's like wall-to-wall action. It's like from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie, it's just fight after fight after fight after fight. And it's fantastic. Street Fighter, however, has way too many characters, right? There's way too many characters. They're going to run into the problem that the X-Men movies ran into, right? You have characters that are essential to the story. They're not very popular, right? You got your characters like your Honda, Gen, Street Fighter 1, Geki. Those kind of characters that are Mike, Eagle, right? They're from Street Fighter 1. They're essential to the story. But they're not very popular, so they'll probably cut those out. Then you got popular characters like Juri, Bison, some of the newer characters who they're essential to the later part of the story, right? So you're going to have to try to mash up some of the old stuff, some of the new stuff. You're going to have a mixing of storylines, a mixing of time frames. And I don't think it's going to work. Who Am I? Jackie Chan. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. Hey, what's up, 1 Inch Biceps? I'm drunk with power. Everybody's gotten fired. So, yeah. Tommy says, focus on Chun-Li's thighs. Yeah, that's another thing. Are we going to go with old Chun-Li? Are we going to go with new Chun-Li? Is Capcom going to go ahead and give the green light to have the asses hanging out of Cammy's outfit, Chun-Li's big thighs on display? We're going to be all covered up, all reserved. Let's be real, dude. It's 2023. The movie's going to be about Chun-Li or Balrog or Black Cat. They already did a Chun-Li movie, right? It could be about... I don't think it'd be about Balrog. It'd be about Dudley. Dudley is a good guy. He's a boxer still. Capcom don't give a fuck. Look at the... That's true. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're gonna get movies, but they're gonna be really garbage, right? It's not gonna keep any of the fans, any of the people that are gonna want to see the movie are gonna be very disappointed, right? We were really disappointed with the last movie, with the Raul Julia. I love the Raul Julia movie. They tried to be as faithful as they could, and they kept costumes, and they changed a little bit. A little bit got changed, right? Let's be fair. There were some changes, but they tried to keep it as close as they could, and that's a problem. Tony reacted to this Fatal Fury Protector HD from Tam Young-gun. Never heard of it, and I'm not sure I want it. And that's what Street Fighter should be. I'll take a look at that. What's up, CJH? Let's see. Let me copy this so I can go to YouTube and see if there is a link to that Fatal Fury thingy. Wow, this is like a 3-minute. All right, hold on. Hopefully we don't get copy struck on this. This is 56K warning. He said, hey, take a look at this. And because he is a paying customer, I will go ahead and take a look at this, because that's what we do here. We listen to our paying customers. He says this is what Street Fighter should be. So let's take a look. Let me guess. This is the movie The Protector with Fatal Fury music and stuff, sound effects, isn't it? Old internet classics. Whoa! CJH is making it rain to put towards releasing the Amico and Gabbing with Geeks first. All right, thank you, CJH. That $5.50 Canadian. So that's what, like $2 American. Thanks, CJH. I appreciate the super chat. That'll definitely help us release the Amico on Amico Forever. Tommy Amico says, I got it. Street Fighter, The Legend of Dudley. All right, let's finish this up. This is definitely going to get us copy struck. We're only 59 seconds in. Wow. And all this great Hong Kong action. What's up, Justy Views? I did not score a pre-order for Zelda. I did not. You are a paying customer, 56K, but you're not paying enough to get me to have my channel demonetized by YouTube. Now, if you really want to see what Street Fighter movie is going to look like, I will show you what the Street Fighter movie is going to look like. This will probably also get my channel demonetized, but hey, it's okay. Yeah, I agree. I don't see why people go messing with other people's IPs. Just do your own stuff. Nobody can stop you then. Yeah, exactly. They should just basically do their own IPs for mods and games. And, you know, as goofy as it is to see, you know, Zelda running around in Grand Theft Auto or Sonic in a Mario game, there's no reason to do that. No reason. It's going to get you copy struck. What is this? You tuning in late, Justy? That is City Hunter. That is the end of the movie. It is a manga that they adapted into a live-action film. And then at the end, it's a Street Fighter 2 fight. It is amazing. It is. Can we have the link? I just closed it. Just go to YouTube. Go YouTube, Jackie Chan, City Hunter, Street Fighter 2 scene. It'll come right up. All right. We got another little article here. And this is Star Wars, because everybody loves Star Wars. We all love the Star Wars, the wars in the stars. So we had a Star Wars celebration, and they made some announcements. And one of those announcements is what everybody has been waiting for. That's right, gentlemen, ladies. Rey is back. Brand new Star Wars movie starring Rey Skywalker. It's officially time for the return. Ooh, look how they did, of one of the very special Jedi. Ridley made a surprise appearance on Friday to announce that her character, Rey, will star in a new film set 15 years after the events of The Rise of Skywalker. Directed by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy from Ms. Marvel, the movie will be set in a Jedi Academy with Jedi Master Rey attempting to rebuild the Jedi Order like Luke Skywalker did before her. Ooh, so when Luke, he couldn't build the Jedi Order because Luke was just not that good. Not that good. Right? Luke couldn't get done, but a woman, because the Force is female, so a woman is going to rebuild the Jedi Academy and take it to new heights so far unseen. So we got Daisy Ridley back, but we also got Dave Filoni and James Mangold will direct new Star Wars films. That's right. From what I'm hearing, James Mangold will be soon heading to a galaxy far, far away for a film that will depict the first ever Jedi to wield the Force. That's right. He's going way, way back in a long, 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 long time ago. The very first Jedi. He's going to tell that story. Very excited. And then we had the Ahsoka trailer. We got our first look at, of course, Admiral Thrawn. The trailer featured Rosario Dawson as well as Rebels fan favorite Sabine Wren, Natasha Liu Bordizzo, and Hera Syndulla, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, all fighting for their lives amid ongoing turmoil within the galaxy. Dawson, Liu Bordizzo, and Winstead were all present at the event, showing new photos of the characters and a poster for the series that boasted an August 2023 release. After the Ahsoka footage confirmed that the villainous Thrawn will officially be making the jump from animation to live action, it was announced that Rebels actor Lars Mikkelsen will reprise the role on screen. David Tennant will also be starred as a droid teaching Huyang in the series, which will be directed by Dave Filoni, blah, 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 blah. So, Ahsoka is coming in August, and then I think, Secret Invasion's in June. So we're going to have our plate filled with Disney Plus series. The Mandalorian, although the Mandalorian of the hour wasn't present, he still appeared in a short video message thanking the fans for their love and support. Those present were instead greeted by Giancarlo Esposito, Katie Sackhoff, and Filoni, who all spoke about how much joy it brought to them that Ahmed Best's appearance in the recent episode was so well received. And I'm hearing that Dave Filoni has basically admitted that Din Djarin is not the titular Mandalorian anymore, that the Mandalorian is now about all the Mandalorians, right? About the people of the Mandalorian. And they might actually cap it off with a movie. So the Mandalorian TV show is just going to set it up for a movie. Tony, can you play the Ahsoka trailer? I don't know, Justy. Are you a paying customer? You're not a paying customer, Justy. I don't know. Theater and Disney Plus are the same now? Yeah. Is this a movie? I'm pretty sure the Rey Skywalker one is going to be a movie for the theater. They're not going to waste that money. The last movie made $1 billion. Even though it was not well received and the fans hated it and everybody thought it was garbage. At the end of the day, it still made $1 billion because it's Star Wars. Slap Star Wars on something, it's going to make money. Yeah, dig deep, Justy. 99 cents. What's going on with Pedro? There's murmurs he might be on his way out. or troubles on the set with him. They've been saying that for the longest time. What I think is happening, as far as Pedro Pascal, he's going between 2 series now, shooting for both, Last of Us, Mandalorian. They probably eased up on his appearances in The Mandalorian so he would be able to shoot more stuff for Last of Us. And the story for The Mandalorian does lead itself to other characters taking the spotlight a little bit. So people are just, reading too much into it. I mean, supposedly last year, on season 2, he walked off the set. So, But I don't think it's going to be anything. We got talk of The Acolyte. That's right. If you weren't interested in The Acolyte before, then Leslie Headland's initial pitch to Lucasfilm might seal the deal. The showrunner said that she described her vision for the series, which is set in the High Republic era, as Frozen meets Kill Bill. Now I'm definitely not interested, right? I don't like Kill Bill. I think it's a stupid movie series. And Frozen's not really something that's interesting to me as an adult male. This is when the bad guys are outnumbered. They are the underdogs. They're not really the underdogs if they're bad guys. Underdogs are heroes. Heroes are the underdogs. Bad guys are not underdogs. Accompanied by Acolyte cast, including Amandla Steinberg, Lee Jung-ja, Manny Jacinto, Delphine Keene, Charlie Barnett, Jodie Turner-Smith, Rebecca Henderson, Dean Charles Chapman, and Junis Sutomo. Headland announced the series will premiere on Disney Plus in 2024 and shared footage that appeared to show Carrie-Anne Moss utilizing the powers of the Force. Oh, great. More female Force users. Guys, it's going to be all females. Everybody's a female in Star Wars now. Kill Phil. Only in Minecraft. Just let it go. I can't let it go. Star Wars used to have dudes, lasers, shooting, action. Now it has women menstruating. Cassian Andor is making his return to television sooner rather than later, following the release of Andor last year. Blah 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 blah. Filming season 2 and set a tentative release date for August 2024. Well, how is that going to show up in August if Ahsoka says it's going to come out in August 2023? Oh shit, August 2024. That's next year. Damn, I don't want to wait a whole another year for Andor. Andor was actually really good. We got Skeleton Crew, which is a thing I'm not interested in. Jude Law is gearing up for his very own space epic in Skeleton Crew, the series, which was developed by blah, 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 who did blah, blah, blah with blah, 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 and takes place within the same time frame as Ahsoka in The Mandalorian. A young group of adventurers will attempt to find their way back home after getting lost. It's a wide galaxy, Filoni explained. It's more dangerous than you think. Yada, 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 don't care. I don't know why Indiana Jones is here in this Star Wars article, but that's a thing that happened. Not very excited. I love Star Wars. I'm a huge Star Wars simp, just like Tommy Amico, but I'm not very excited with the things they've shown me. Right? I want action. I want adventure. I want a series that's lightsabers and shooting. I don't want fifis and people getting in touch with their inner Jedi. Just want action. Why is that so much trouble to ask? Huh? I don't know. But Justy View says he wants to see the Ahsoka trailer. I don't know. Should we play it? What do you think? What do you think, guys? Give me a 1. Give me a 1 in the chat. There's 9 of you. If I get 4 1s in the chat, I'll go ahead and play the Ahsoka trailer, and we'll talk about it. If not, we'll just move right along into our next topic. It's a tarp. Whoa. Depends on the configuration of shoestring and hobo sticks. Tommy says, I like Star Wars video games and Disneyland more than the movies and the shows. Yeah. No, I played part of the Star Wars holiday special. The holiday special is awesome. It's got my favorite Star Wars character, B. Arthur, the greatest actress known to man. I know a lot of people think that Princess Leia was the hottest woman in Star Wars. Some people think it's Daisy Ridley. Other people think that it is, the hell's her name? Ahsoka. But not me. Not me. For my money, the hottest female in all Star Wars, it's got to be B. Arthur's bartender. Got to be. Yeah, I played B. Arthur's song from Star Wars. Justy, only one of these. Only one of these. He's the only one that wants to see it. See, no one else wants to see the trailer, Justy. It's not 4-1s. It's not 4-1s. It's just you. No one else cares. Natalie Portman? No. Natalie Portman is nothing. B. Arthur had some titties. Natalie Portman's flat. Hottest to me was old Aunt Beru. She comes close. She comes close. I like a woman that's like 18 years older than me. Yeah. All right. So we'll just move right along. No one wants to see the trailer. Sorry, Justy. I tried. But everybody said, just move along. Move along. All right. What we got next? What's up next? Man, we are just fucking flying through this shit. So DK Oldies is now facing a class action lawsuit for lying to you. That's what the headline is. Except not really. So what is going on is right now Treehouse Law LLP is looking into getting a class action lawsuit. They're looking into it. They're getting people to sign up, give testimony, give statements, right? Because, you know, a YouTube video is nice. A YouTube video is great for the public. A YouTube video is awesome. But a YouTube video is not necessarily a signed statement, right? You need a signed statement. Say, hey, I bought from them. They said it was refurbished. They ripped me off. DK Oldies, is it a scam? No, case closed. So the thing is, they are reaching out. Apparently, they can only operate in 3 jurisdictions: California, Illinois. I forget what the third one is. Nevada, maybe. This particular law firm. So they're looking for people from those particular states to go ahead and sign up. Give them your thing. The Retro Bro, he reached out. He talked to them. He had a conversation, and they basically said, "Oh yeah, we sent them a letter. We sent them a nicely worded letter that said, hey, DK Oldies, you better admit that you're bad, or we're gonna sue you." So right now, DK Oldies can get the letter, and upon legal advice, can say, "Hey, we admit no fault, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna update our policies, right? We're gonna update because maybe some of our policies or some of our wording is confusing to the average person. So we'll go ahead and just update that. And if they do that, they won't have to pay anybody any money. There will be no lawsuit. Nobody will get any paychecks. Nothing." Now, let's say, for the sake of argument, DK Oldie says, "Nah, fuck you. We're in the right. We didn't do anything wrong." And it goes to court. And it goes to trial and all that. What's going to essentially happen is the law firm is going to make a whole bunch of money. DK Oldies is going to lose a whole bunch of money. And you might get a $20 check in the mail. Right? Because essentially what they're going to do is they're going to go ahead and say, here's all the customers you had from Illinois. Here's all the customers you had from Nevada. Here's all the customers you had from California. They're going to take all those numbers and say, here's all the money, or here's all the consoles or games or whatever, what have you, that they bought in those 3 states. Here's what it adds up to be. Here's what you owe us in damages, right? And essentially the law firm will keep that money. They'll keep their percentage, take that out. And then the rest of the money will be held in escrow. And they'll basically put out a call that'll say, hey, if you live in these states and you bought from DK Oldies, you might be entitled to a refund. Contact the Treehouse Law LLP to see if you are owed money from DK Oldies on the DK Oldies lawsuit. and then you'll get your check in the mail for $7 or $8, and then that'll be the end of it. The best thing, right? If you really want awareness, if the whole idea is that you don't want people buying from DK Oldies, they're a scam. DK Oldies is a scam. Then what you gotta do is just make a video letting people know, right? Cut all the bullshit out and just basically say, hey, DK Oldies, this is what they did. This is what they're about. And this is why you shouldn't buy from them. This is why you should buy from another company. This is why you should buy from this other company who does refurbish, or this other company who at least doesn't charge you an arm and a leg for a product that isn't worth an arm and a leg, right? Yeah, so that's the best you could do. This is not going to go anywhere. This is not going to happen. Like I said, DK Oldies would be incredibly stupid to allow this to get to that level when all they have to do is say, hey, maybe some of the things we said can be misunderstood. We'll go ahead and we'll change our policies. We'll update the website. We'll update the commercials. We'll update the Facebook ads, right? That's all they got to do. And essentially, it'll be like, well, nobody gets any money. Because DK Oldies is not going to give you money if they don't have to, right? If they don't have to give you money, why would they give you money? When it says just order your stuff on eBay like everybody else, yeah, essentially that's what I would do. I order my stuff through Amazon. Like when I got my PlayStation 2 last year, when I got my Rambo 3, or not Rambo 3, but Rambo for PlayStation 3, and I just got it off of fucking Amazon. I mean, it's the best you could do. I would not go to any of these resellers or CM Retro. Call up CM Retro. He's always got stuff. Be like, hey, CM Retro, what do you got? What do you got for me this week? McCary is better than eBay. Might be. All right, we got one more. I don't know if this is an article, an idea, a thought that popped into my head. But I was thinking about this because people were talking about the DK Oldies lawsuit. They were saying, is DK Oldies going to get found responsible? What's going to happen? What's going on? They can't get an Intellivision Amico lawsuit going, but you need a DK Oldies one. Got me thinking about our good friends Smash, JT, self-roasting, $10,000 lost, investing on the Amico. It got me wondering. Smash JT, he invested $10,000 with Republic based on insider information, right? He got information that the public didn't have. Now, a lot of times you don't hear about insider. What's up, Potion Sword Run? What's up with all the beautiful colors on people's names? I believe those colors are how long they've been a channel member. I think the longer you're a channel member, the different color your name is. And then also mods get a color, I guess. Yeah, so mods are blue, channel members are green, regular people are white. Yeah, I said it. He got a car ride with Tommy. He did. But like I said, he also got information, right? Because he was convinced that they were going to release, that the release was imminent. He was convinced that certain games were coming out, that certain things were happening. He was given information that other people did not have, right? And that's why he chose to invest. And DJC also talked to Tommy behind the scenes. He talked to Tommy, Phil Adam, John Alvarado, all those people. He talked to people who talked to people and who told him insider information. He also invested. And again, you don't always hear about these insider trading things when they don't make money, right? When they lose money, nobody ever says, hey, wait a minute, that was insider trading. because a lot of people don't realize it, right? Because there's no red flags with insider trading unless someone hits it big out of nowhere, right? But unfortunately for these guys, we know all the facts leading up to their investments. We know all the things that happened. They've outlined it. They've saved videos. They've talked about it numerous occasions. I don't think they're talking to them anymore. But when the investment was happening, DJC definitely had prior conversations with Tommy off the record, right? So here's the thing. Would Smash JT's investment count as insider trading? Now, I know what you think. You're saying, well, Tony, it's not a publicly traded company, so obviously it's not insider trading. But in 2011, the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission in 2011 did put out a report saying that they were going to crack down on more insider trading with private companies, which Intellivision LLC is a private company. John Alvarado says this story seems to be a big nothing burger. Everybody divert your attention to the nearest wall to you. I believe there's more interesting things happening there. Yeah, there might be. So the SEC has definitely looked into private companies when people have made investments, trades, and stuff. So the question is whether or not, if you lose a bunch of money, would it be insider trading? Because remember, they were still acting on insider information. They were still acting in order to make money, right? They weren't looking to lose money. They were obviously looking to make money, and they thought they had gotten information that no one else had, that they was going to lead them to have a 10x return, right? So John Alvarado says, look over there and here and down here, but not here on the screen. But they can listen, John. They can listen. Maybe you should have told them to mute. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm thinking in my my big brain time. I'm thinking that maybe this might be insider trading. That Smash JT might have basically admitted to insider trading when he came out and said, "Hey, Tommy told me a bunch of stuff, and I invested in the Amico." Because let's say, for sake of argument, that it did hit. Amico came out; it was a big success. Smash JT made $100,000 off of his investment. 10x return. Then we'd definitely be like, that's insider trading, right? We'd all agree. We'd all say, hey, there was insider trading because down there is 7 inches of Canadian love muscle. Tommy got triggered. Why is Canadian Gamer below you? So if he won, right, if he hit and they succeeded and he made 10x return, they would definitely call that insider trading. The fact that he lost money, the fact that it did not pan out, is it insider trading? Does insider trading only count if you win? I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think insider trading only counts if you actually make money? Or is insider trading when you know insider information not known to the general public and which you then use to make an investment, irregardless of the outcome of said investment? Let me know. Let me know what you think. I don't agree. CEOs are legally allowed to promote the shit they're selling. They are legally allowed to promote. The problem isn't that Tommy came out and said things in the public, right? Public information is not the issue. The issue is private information that Smash AT had, that he's admitted, right? He's admitted to having these conversations with Tommy, to be told things that, hey, at E3 we're going to do this, and we're in talks with these. We can't tell you right now. We can't announce it to the public. But we have these talks with this company and that company, right? Only counts when you make money. I don't want to kick a guy while he's down. Yeah, he secretly told JT stuff, privileged information, right? Information you can't tell anybody. Information off the record, just between us. About patents, about upcoming deals. They didn't buy stocks. And again, Mike, the SEC has already said that private companies that are not publicly traded can be involved in insider trading, right? Smash AT bought shares from Republic, the Republic shares that were going to have a return that the SEC has to sign off on all the offerings that are on Republic are SEC certified. So the Securities and Exchange Commission looks at all the offerings on Republic and says, "Yep, these are kosher. These fall within our purview." And if they fall within the purview of the SEC, then the SEC's rules on insider trading should also pertain to the Republic investments. Yeah. Did Smash JT ever hear back from Phil? Last time he said no, but then Phil told no. The last thing he said was that Phil told him give him like another week or so, and then he would have something, and then nothing ever happened, and Smash just never talked about it again. If it was always a scam, was info truthful to begin with? No, but I don't think it matters. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking. Does it matter that Tommy lied to Smash? Does it matter that Smash didn't make money? Is it insider trading because Smash was working? Remember, in Smash's mind, it was truthful information. In Smash's mind, he was going to make money. This was a no-lose situation, right? This is a surefire bet. Right? If I tell you, if I'm working at the horse track, right? Let's say I'm working at the horse track, and I say, hey guys, hey Tommy Amico, I'm working at the horse track, 1-inch biceps, and turns out all the horses are sick except for one. All the horses have a stomach bug. They're all super sick. They're not running well, except for one, Blue Jeans, and he's a 10-1 odds, right? 10-1 odds in the third race. Blue Jeans is the only horse that's not sick. That's who you should bet on. And then you bet. And then it turns out I was lying to you. All the horses are okay. And actually Blue Jeans has a broken leg. Hey, does that matter? No, because you were still cheating. You still thought you when you made your bet. All right. It's like when Elizabeth Holmes was on trial, right? They said it doesn't matter that you were trying to make the stuff happen. When you said the stuff, it wasn't true. It wasn't true at the time when you said the thing, right? And that's why she went to jail. Smash AT is still a valued investor. We take his comments and criticism on board. Phil will get back to him either next week or the week after that. Okay. Chronic Warlock says, Amico Forever, episode 76 was hilarious. GG. Well, thank you. I try. Episode 77 is going to be even better. Oh, shit, I'm going to go blind Blue Jeans. Please don't. Please don't bet on any horses named Blue Jeans based on anything I might have said. This is definitely a Theranos situation. The whole thing is a total Theranos situation, right? Especially as more information's coming out. Pat and Ian did their video, and they're basically saying, hey, turns out that they had a big investor pulled out, and that's why Tommy was going crazy and acting wild. But again, Tommy was making very public statements about the company, about the health of the company, and about how much money they had and how much money they had for this and how much money they had for marketing and product testament and all that, blah, 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 right? Meanwhile, they didn't have anything. The Tiger King, but gayer. Fire Festival, yeah. What if Hans Ippisch told the board of Bavaria insider staff for grants? Would that count? No, that wouldn't be insider trading. That would just be lies to get grant money. Tommy should have changed his voice like that Holmes lady. Possibly. Can we agree that TT is the greatest video game entertainer ever? No, he's not. John Alvarado says no shenanigans / tomfoolery has happened. I can assure you. Well, there you go. I'm sorry that I ever doubted you, Mr. Alvarado. I knew I shouldn't have bought into any of this malarkey that these haters, these jealous gatekeepings were telling me. So that was just my train of thought. I leave it up to you guys to decide. Is it insider trading, even though Smash failed to succeed on his investment? Or as One Inch Bicep says, well, we don't want to kick a man when he's down. I love you, Tommy. Love you, Tommy. Yeah, we all love Tommy. All right. Last thing on the agenda is, of course, the polls. We love our polls. Like I said, I told you it's going to be a short show today. Short show. All right. So here we go. Let's share the screen. All right. I asked you guys 5 days ago. I said, which movie are you most excited to see? Your choices were Blue Beetle, Across the Spider-Verse, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Indiana Jones, or none of the above. And with a whopping 38% coming out on top is none of the above. You guys are not excited to see any of these movies. Personally, I am super psyched for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. The first two were fantastic. I loved them. I know the third one is going to be great. I know some people are complaining about the cover and how Karen Gillan's, whatever the fuck her name is, Nebula looked a little mannish, and the little shot they showed, the way she was standing, was a little mannish. But I still think it's going to be a great movie. 39%. Thank you for voting, Justy. Guardians of the Galaxy, best MCU movies. They really are. They're great. Amico testing is in the final pre-testing phase of initial testing. Awesome. You're finally doing. I didn't finally do poll. I did them last week. Didn't we go over them last week? Yeah. We went over them last week because we talked about Jonathan Majors being finished, how long they're going to be on hiatus for Amico Forever. Come on. All right. This was prompted by the Blue Beetle trailer in which George Lopez said, hey, Batman's a fascist. Batman's a fascist. I asked, is Batman a fascist? 124 votes. The general consensus is no. 2/3 of you essentially said no, Batman is not a fascist. And we got 28 comments. We can go ahead and look at these comments here. All right. Extra Hero says, I'm going to hire the world's greatest detective to find out. We know that the greatest detective in DC is the Bat Computer. And he's probably going to say, yes, Batman is a fascist. Detroit Allen 1 says, I'd say, according to the textbook definition, no. But I can definitely see how he'd be seen as one. Blinded Braille says, Ben Affleck's Batman is definitely a fascist. Decam Ag, he's the goddamn Batman. I don't know if that's a yes or not. Joshua Perez says, according to Frank Miller, yes. 56K Warning says, yes. That was Thanos's quote. And myself in comics, Bianca says, no. Everyone ruined it by voting no. XXNO 464 says, more hardcore than Superman. He'd happily kill Xenomorphs, but he's no fascist. Joseph Handbody says, movie needs a bomb for Blue Beetle now. Doesn't really answer the question. Satish Kumar says, it depends on the adaptation in comics. Frank Miller's All-Star Batman and Robin version is definitely fascist, but DCAU version is the perfect version of Batman. He's not a fascist. I'm guessing that's the animated universe. Nerdette's Newsstand says, depends which. Vortex also agrees it depends. And Shane Nolan said, by definition, no. Batman is not a fascist. All right. And our last poll question of the evening. Should we do another Intellivision Amico Forever stream next week? 110 votes. Overwhelming majority. Said yes. Yes. Do it. We need another. We need episode 77. So I will get the crew together. We will get the Amico Forever crew back together for another show, for another episode. All right, let's see what everybody says. Finbar says yes, not only for next week, but forever. John Alvarado, who's in the chat, Johnny Avocado says, keeping Amico alive forever should be our number one priorities. The rocket ship just needs that little bit more fuel to the moon. You Super J says, trademark abandoned, office abandoned, Twitter/YouTube abandoned, DJC's Amico forever abandoned, the Geek Getaways Amico forever new hotness. 100% correct. 56K1, he says, come on, Tony. You know the answer to this already. Stream haven't been this popping since forever. Since Amico forever. Evil Stream says, see what happens, Larry? You see what happens, Larry? Ross Buster says, it's all we want you to do. Only one Amico. Tommy Uyamiko says, yeah, of course. I missed it. You have to. And then Sweet and Tender Hooligan, someone's got to do it. DJC and crew have all but raised the white flag to surrender. It's sad, really pathetic. So there you go. Those were our 3 poll questions of the week. And we are definitely going to be doing an Amico Forever this week. Keep passing it on. We will take monthly shifts and teach our children like Passover tradition. No. I got a lot of ideas. I have a lot of ideas. I haven't felt the creative juices flowing this much since I started the channel. I'm going to be honest. If you go way back in the channel's history, when we first started doing the Amico coverage, when I was doing my trollish stuff, when we were, the Amico No Access crew, and we were doing that, and we were having fun, and we were making jokes. That was probably the best time I've had on YouTube. I'm not going to lie. I've kind of missed it. I've kind of missed just being a little bit trollish, just letting it all hang out. Just letting everything go balls to the wall. Amico Forever allows me to be creative. It allows me to say incredibly stupid things under the guise of parody, under the guise of just having fun. So I think I'm going to go ahead and John O'Reilly says, I've seen Tony's juices. They were indeed flowing. Exactly. So yeah, so we're definitely going to go ahead and do it. We're going to do another one. And then another one. And then another one. And then another one. We're going to keep going forever and ever and ever and ever. We're going to see how far we can take this, right? We're going to see when DJC is going to actually step up and say, hey, you can't do Amico Forever. That's mine. It's mine. Fill all that 8 panels. No. We got to keep it tight. It's got to be a tight show, right? And I know you guys just want to have fun, but it's got to be controlled fun. It's got to be tight. It's got to be on point. Brain Duel 2 has been canceled. No, it hasn't. Amico's like Wasted Studios. They don't die. Yeah. Anything Joey says must be taken with a grain of salt. Yeah, Joey Kuras is a hating, lying, gatekeeper, hater. So yeah. So I definitely want to keep doing Amico Forever. But I also, like I said, I want to have creative content, right? I just want to come out here and be like, fuck you guys, fuck Amico Forever, fuck Amico, it's crazy, it's hated, they're all lame, and they lie to you, and they're scam, it's a scam, right? I don't want to keep shouting. I don't want to keep rehashing old points over and over and over again in an uncreative way, right? Could you imagine if you just came out every single day on YouTube and just said the same thing over and over and over again, just day after day after day? You just came out, you just turned on your phone, you just started ranting, like on your way to work or something. Could you imagine, like on your way to work, you were just ranting about the same thing, the same jokes, the same comments over and over and over again, just focused on one thing or one person, and just kept over and over day after day after day? Could you imagine how sad and pathetic that would be? And I don't want Amico Forever to be like that, right? I want to go ahead and I want to be creative. I want to do things that are unique. I want to, edit those videos. When I was editing those videos, that was fun. I had fun. I don't sim for Orbitology. I don't even know who that is. Did she like sell orbs or something. Right? I want to do things that are funny and creative, where you could watch the show and be like, "Oh, that's entertaining," right? Even though we're making fun of Amico forever, even though we're making fun of the Amico, right? I want to be able to do it in a way that's entertaining. Yes, Tony is turning into me. No, I'm not. No. Right? I want to do things that are entertaining. I want to have jokes that hit, that land. I want people to tune in and be able to watch it and laugh, even if they don't know what the hell's going on, right? Even if they don't really understand, but they just know that the thing that I said is funny, or the little skit that we did, or the little, reignited. So that's the plan. The plan is that, like I said, to be creative, to go ahead and do things, to spin things, to turn things on their head, to be a parody of Amico Forever, but at the same time, not just rehash the same joke over and over again. Right? Potion's voices are underused. They are. So that's the plan. That's the plan right now. Is there going to be a Amico Fest? There might be. Spoiler alert for those who are going to be tuning in on Wednesday. I have the footage. That's right. I have the footage of the latest Amico pop-up event. That's right. Amico actually just held a pop-up event not too long ago, where they had people and they asked them questions and they said, "Hey, could you play the console? Could you try it? Give us your thoughts on it." I have the footage, and we're going to be playing that this Wednesday. We're playing that footage. So it's going to be awesome. It was actually the reason I have the footage is because the last pop-up event was here in my hometown. They had the Amicos. They had people try them out, test them out. It's fantastic. It went flawless. So we're gonna go ahead and roll that beautiful bean footage. Yeah, dude. When I got to show you the footage, is gonna blow your balls off. Right? Amicos are not for men. Let me just say that right now. Right now, off the top of my head, I'm going to admit that Amico is not for men, because men have balls. And then when you see the footage from the last Amico event, it's going to blow your balls clean off. So you're not going to be a man anymore. You're going to be one of those women people. But I've rambled on long enough. I've deviated from what the point of Gabbing with Geeks is, and got off into this tirade about my creative juices and all the excitement that I'm having for Amico Forever. It's been an hour and a half. It's a solid show. And again, I did it all on my own. I did it my way. And when it comes to Amico, just remember, when people say, "Hey, who was right?" Right? Who was right? Well, was Tony right? Was DJC right? Was Tommy Tellerico right? You know what I always say.
Fuck you, I was right, 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 fuck you, I was.
And that's all I got to say when it comes to the Amico. But as always, love, peace, booty grease. I'm out this bitch.